After months of intense fighting, Russia says it's captured the eastern Ukrainian town of Soledar. The area has been pounded for weeks by Russian fire. As you can see here, in fact, it's seen some of the most intense battles of the entire war. Ukraine denies Russia has full control, saying its forces continue to resist. Well, it's the first Ukrainian town Russia has claimed to have captured since July, after 6 months of military setbacks. The next target of the Russian offensive could be nearby Bakhmut, in preparation for an assault on the key city of Kramatorsk. Our Ukraine correspondent James Waterhouse has the very latest.
A salt mining town under Russian assault. Soledar has become a story of carnage and contradiction. After months of bloody fighting, an attempt by Russia to give a clear message. For the first time, a claim to be in complete control. And that this town is the start of something bigger. The capture of Soledar became possible due to the constant destruction of the enemy, says Russia's defense ministry, by ground attack, aircraft, missiles and artillery. But Ukraine is saying fighting continues in Soledar. Our troops are holding defense against the enemy. Ukraine has resisted Russia's attack here for months. The price is getting heavier.
We will never give up. This is our Soledar, our city, and we will not give it to anyone. Ukraine is ours. As soon as we see the Russian soldiers, we will hit them.
The Kremlin hasn't had anything to cheer about for the last 6 months since it last captured a major location. Soledar would change that, but it's also why Kyiv is hinting at a possible retreat. It's because the last time a city fell, Russia made minimal gains and Ukraine retook swathes of territory elsewhere. It's also why Soledar is unlikely to alter the course of this war. We were in the nearby city of Bakhmut last weekend, an urban battlefield that couldn't have felt further from the politics of control. Ukraine is trying to portray its own momentum.
The aggressor must be defeated on the Ukrainian land where he came, so that it won't be necessary to fight on the lands of other European nations later. And we need to do it now, so that Russia does not get a break, does not have time to adapt and restore its strength. This year is crucial.
More Western weapons are on their way to Ukraine. The fear is, without them, Russia's advance might not stop at Soledar. James Waterhouse, BBC News, Kyiv.
Our international editor Jeremy Bowen is here. Some perspective now, Jeremy. How important is this region?
Well, Soledar, I was there last summer. It's a really small town. It's on a hill, so that's quite useful for artillery. But I think for the Russians, it's more symbolic. And it may be a sign, and you could hear that from what Zelensky was saying in that clip just now, saying that the time is now, we need more help. I think there's a feeling that the Russians may be learning a few lessons, maybe getting their act together. They still have big problems, logistics, command and control, those terrible morale. But this is a victory, and they've had a lot of setbacks, so they're going to be, I think the view from the Kremlin's improved.
Okay, so a morale boost, but longer term, what's your reading of where the war is going?
Well, here is a remarkable stat for you, Clive. Ukraine has been firing as many heavy artillery shells in a week as the US makes in a month. Now, what this means is that there have to be some big decisions taken about the level of support that the Ukrainians get, and we heard from Zelensky, they want more. They always want more. Now, there have been some of the taboos about what they can have gone. They're getting Patriot missiles. There's talk of tanks now as well. But the fact is, to get to a state where they can actually try and get towards a victory, then they're going to need a lot more than that. The US Navy Secretary has said, look, they're getting so much stuff at the moment by the summer, the US Navy might have to choose between arming itself and arming Ukraine. But to get to the victory point that they want, then the West and the Americans are going to have to make a big commitment in terms of real war economy type sacrifices and supply. And that commitment has not been made.
Okay, Jeremy, thank you. Jeremy Bowen, our international editor.